Central Park in fall.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
How you tore your dress. What a mess.
That is an amazing Matthew Broderick.
Did he actually sing that?
No, that was Wayne Newton.
What's a Wayne Newton? Well, hey, welcome everybody to the Chimichanga Superstar Podcast. I'm your host, Christian, and with me, as always, is my, sober already, Haley.
I'm not sober in any capacity. Hello, friends.
Hi, how are you?
Haley, how are you? I hope you're doing well.
You look like you're diving straight head first into this relaxation.
You know what?
Was your weekend
really
tense?
Stressful yesterday because of the new Game of Thrones episode. I've never been more stressed out in my life.
Well, I've decided that this is going to be a very spoiler-heavy episode, so you get to talk all you want about things.
God.
As soon as we get through the news
Started.
and all of the spoiler warnings, which spoiler warning, there's going to be spoilers throughout this entire thing. We'll continue all the spoilers with more spoiler warnings along the spoilery warnings.
So, friends, dearest friends,
don't spoil anything yet.
If you have not seen Season 8, Episode 3, shut this shit off right now and go watch yourself.
Oh, whatever. As you can hear with the mild chuckle, we do have an Alex Weizmann joining us. Welcome, sir, Mr. Voicey guy.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
This audio was actually, I popped a can in and it sounds really good now.
Yep.
All right, beautiful.
How do you like it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah. All right, hang on.
You look really handsome today. Can I say that? You look really handsome.
Oh, hey, yeah, we don't have the delay either. I mean,
yeah, there's no delay.
I prefer left.
That's a
so
really lovely color on you.
I like colors.
Yeah, I like left can over right can.
I don't know what can I like, but I like these cans.
Bomb.
I'm getting drunk, sir.
It has begun. It starts. You think
I get a little flirty when I'm drunk, so my bad.
Oh, there we go.
So, Haley and I have seen Game of Thrones. You don't give two craps about Game of Thrones.
Not in the sense of me worrying about getting spoiled. No.
You and I have seen Avengers Endgame. Haley, you don't give a crap about Avengers Endgame.
I don't give a crap. It's more that, like, as we've established in previous episodes, I'm a DC girl, and that doesn't mean that I don't love the Marvel Universe. It just means that I more watch the films for the pop culture aspect, and especially since I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet, I'm like, you know what? I don't care enough.
All right. Well, so we got
which is interesting because, arguably speaking, I would, if you put a gun to my head, I would say I'm probably more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy, but I adore the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And I'm a Marvel fanatic, so suck it.
He's the truer Marvel fan, I think, between us.
So we got a decent stack of conversation options here with us, so we'll get to that after the news and after the spoiler warnings that there's going to be so many spoilers throughout this entire episode. Spoiler warning, everybody.
Spoilers.
All right. So, Haley.
Yes, sir.
My always sober compatriot.
I am always sober at all times on this podcast.
And probably the only reason I actually stay up to date on the news. Please, give us the news.
Well. So, here's something interesting that I read this week. So, as everyone knows, the Mueller is... What is his name?
It is Mueller.
Is it Mueller or Mueller?
It is Mueller.
Thank you, Alex.
Mueller.
I'm like,
Mueller.
Mueller.
I know. We all want to go to the Ferris Bueller element.
I think that's so excellent that I was actually just singing Ferris Bueller.
I was going to say, you were just doing a little Wayne Newton for us.
Yep.
It's only if you'd followed it up with Twist and Shout, it would have been perfect.
Okay, no. I'll save that for the end of the show. So the Mueller report came out, and it was fairly inconclusive, as we all know. But you know what? Honestly, like, there's a lot that went into that that didn't come out of the report. In fact, Deputy Attorney General Rodstein called the Mueller report, like the tip of the iceberg as far as like Russia's plans for sticking their hand in the cookie jar of America.
I'm kind of sad that it's not Sheriff Deputy Dennis Rodman.
I know. I'm sorry.
He once fought Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, we haven't. I don't think we've had a major administration official with that color of neon in their hair, to my knowledge.
Trump.
I believe.
Would you call that neon?
Yes.
Okay.
In the right light.
Neon.
Yeah, in the right light.
I feel like it's more of a.
Have you seen him in black light yet? Come on, man.
That's true.
Wait till he
Yeah, but
lights
that's
up.
frightening in a lot of ways.
His lips, his eyes, his bright teeth, his bright hair. Only his fake tan and his dark heart will not glow.
Do you feel like once he's in black light, he just becomes like a Tron character?
Maybe that's why he's got the fake tan. He's covering all of his Tron markings.
I'm cracking myself up about that.
See, now I'm really trying to picture that.
Can you picture Trump trying to fit into one of those suits?
Yeah. Or does he like? Or does
That's
he
why I
operate
drink.
like one of those like low
Mental
budget
images like that.
horror film
I
characters?
actually just kind of imagine Trump's face spinning around in a row and around like the MCP. That would be interesting.
You mean just grab him by the head and keep spinning?
Yeah, basically.
Crack,
So-
snuckle, pop, Rice Krispies.
Basically, what has happened is Russia is way more involved than the Mueller report lets on. Actually, Rodstein says in a quote on Thursday, the bottom line is there was overwhelming evidence that Russian operatives hacked American computers and defrauded American citizens. And that is only the tip of the iceberg of a comprehensive Russian strategy to influence elections, promote social discord, and undermine America, just like they do in many other countries.
I like words.
What?
Oof.
I don't know. I'm just playing with myself.
I think it's interesting that Rosenstein made that that comment.
Rodstein?
Is it Rod? I thought it was Rod Rosenstein.
It's Rodstein.
Okay, then I'm wrong.
It's Rodstein.
Rodstein. Oh.
Rodman.
Rosenstein.
Dennis
Fuck,
Rodman.
Rosenstein.
I was right.
You were right. My apologies to Senor Rosenstein.
Rodman.
No worries. Yeah, I think it's interesting that Rosenstein made that comment because I mean that's just a big public release, PR release, invitation for people to keep digging into this. But in a lot of ways, the Mueller report was very much, once released, just kind of this indication to keep digging in.
Well, there was only like two things that they were double checking in the Mueller report, because like they were making sure that there was like no theft and release of embarrassing material to political targets, and like the use of social media to like agitate and divide people. So like that's a very broad scope.
Very
whereas like apparently there's a lot more to this. And actually the FBI director Christopher Wray basically said that this is not just an election threat. Like this is like a 365 days a year threat from them, and they messed with the 2016 election. They're going to mess with the 2020 election. And U.S. officials are actually working behind the scenes to try and like gain control of this. But what Russia calls Project Lakta is actually really like the way that it's done is really low budget because it's like men on the ground, and so it's like way harder to catch.
Right.
So right now the FBI and like other people are trying to figure out if like laws were actually broken within this whole regime. And they're like still working really hard. So like the Mueller report, like even though a lot of conservatives and like Republicans would like to believe that, you know, like it's all over and done with and like Donald Trump wants to move on, but like actually behind the scenes there's a lot more going on, and the U.S. is continuing to investigate, and holy shit, that wine just hit me real hard.
Did they check his porn properly?
I don't know that they did.
Can you possibly catalog that much?
I hope so.
So basically, like, they're saying that Russia is just going to do what's best for Russia. So that doesn't mean that they're going to continue to support Republicans. They may, in fact, support Democrats in future elections. And they maintain that like no vote has actually ever been changed by remote technical compromise, but that won't stop other countries from trying. So this isn't just Russia. It's like Iran, North Korea, what have you, all of our...
Anybody with an internet hookup, basically.
That makes me think.
And arguably, it would be the big question here is the idea of like, is it illegal for a foreign power to fool the American public into thinking things that are not true? I mean, it's obviously a form of dishonesty and fraud in some form or another, but is that something that you can, pull up as we need to take an action about this? And to some extent, it's not even very popular to say to the American people, you got duped.
Well, I mean, even with that, like, there was a Russian agent who actually just got prosecuted and has like 18 months in jail because they were undocumented and they were a Russian spy. They had a U.S. boyfriend who was already under investigation for like fraudulent shit from other stuff. But like, one of the things that cracked me up is like, where I got this from is basically, I mean, and they're absolutely right by saying this, but it's just such a funny concept, is like, basically we're going to need to be anticipating political mischief as the new normal.
Right.
Hey, Alex, I don't think it would really take that much. I'm on Pornhub.com/categories. And of all the categories, which are typically between like 9,000 to 21,000, the pissing category is only about 8,100. So there's not a whole lot really to search. And I'm pretty sure it'd all just be white woman pisses on black man pisses on white woman.
But here's the thing: we've discussed that that P-tape thing so much, but it's also been widely known that he is.
What's the P-tape? What's happening?
Oh, have you not heard of it?
I mean, I've heard. Okay, so here's the thing: I've heard something about Trump and a tape about peeing. Mm-hmm. But I don't exactly know any details about it, nor have I. A
recurrent rumor from actually fairly early into the 2016 election cycle was that Russia had something on him for some sort of sexual encounter that involved a golden shower. And no one...
Him performing or him receiving?
I actually don't know if that's ever been confirmed. Which direction the stream went.
Because that motherfucker likes getting peed on.
There are significantly...
Do we know that, though? Because he's a germaphobe. That's why he eats...
Is he a germaphobe?
Yeah, that's why he eats nothing but, like, fast food, because he can be sure of its, like, sterility or something like that.
Isn't that... I feel like that would be the exact opposite. There's so many germs that are in fast
Urine
food.
is a sterile fluid. It just occurred to me.
Prove it.
Maybe
127 hours.
Okay, you just threw a movie concept out instead. Like, so,
yes,
do you believe?
That's how I manage most of my life.
Does that film give you genuine belief that you can drink urine?
No, it gives me genuine belief that James Franco can drink urine in an emergency situation. That's the only thing I have proof of.
And James Franco's species is what?
I have not got confirmation on that.
Reptile overlord number 1.
I have a full belief that all of the Francos are not actually Earth beings.
Well, we know of James and Dave. Are there others?
Are they from space or are they subterranean?
I feel like there's another Franco.
There's a third Franco.
I feel like there's a third behind the scenes Franco.
Like, oh my god,
that's
the master.
Like Mark or like Lucas.
Wait, this is gonna be a remake of the Third Man, the third Franco.
The Lord Franco.
Lord Franco.
Get the zither music playing.
Lord Franco does manipulate from behind the scenes with his monocle in his penthouse in the sky.
Shit. I'm gonna find out if there's a third Franco because I feel like there is. In all honesty, I feel like there can't just be two.
I'm done with the piss porn. By the way, why is there so much like peeing your pants videos? Who wants to watch that? Weird. But not kink shaming, you freaks.
There is a third Franco!
Oh, dun, 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 dun.
Truth, there is a third Franco.
Tom Franco.
That sounds made up.
Franco?
Tom.
It's actually the first thing that comes up when you type Tom F.
James Franco clarified, pointing out that his and James's lesser-known sibling is Tom. Oh, this is Dave Franco who said this. Tom is 5 years older than Dave.
He was also involved with the Disaster Artist.
Was he now?
And he's quite good looking. Wow. Go Francos. I'm telling you, they're all extraterrestrial beings.
Okay, so
they're all
back to the main topic then. Space or subterranean?
I say space.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, is only a celestial being could wrangle the angel that is Allison Brie. You feel me?
Googling Allison Brie just to look at her.
I'm going to have to agree with that logic. I'll go with Haley on that one.
Alice and Brie. We were going to talk about news. Moving on.
Oh shit! Right, news.
It's the Franco spell.
Huh?
Goddamn Francos.
The fucking Francos, I'm telling you.
Ruiners of all productivity.
Okay, so you ready for our next news story?
I'm ready for our next news story. Yes.
So this is a little on the controversial end.
Yeah. More wine.
How do we feel, gentlemen, about vaccinations?
I feel stabby.
Stabby?
With needles, I would assume. I'm, I'm a believer in vaccines, certainly. So
Yeah.
And herd immunity. So yeah, I'm down.
Okay, solid. So this will be kind of for you.
I'm a snake potion kind of guy.
Snake potion?
Mm-hmm.
Snake oil?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently anti-vaxxers have been using a Brady Bunch meme to say that measles are like not a big deal.
Yo.
And apparently Marsha Brady is fucking pissed.
Let's break her nose.
So apparently in season 1, episode 13, like all 6 of the Brady kids get the measles. And like they're all super stoked because they get to stay home, and like what's his face, the fucking father Brady is like, you can tell that kids are sick because they all have
right?
That's the oldest one, I thought.
Is it? I don't know. I never really watched much of the Brady
I don't
Bunch.
know why I want to call him Patrick. I don't know. Patrick.
Okay, which one's SpongeBob?
So, like, the dad is like, you can tell that like they're all sick because they have all these smiles and like da-da-da, and like Marsha's like, well, if you have to get sick, sure can't beat the measles.
I
And
think the
that's
dad would be
meme,
Mr.
like
Krabs.
that. Huh?
I think the dad would be Mr. Krabs.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that screenshot of like, you have to get sick, sure can't be the measles, is the meme that is going around.
Mm-hmm.
And like anti-vaxxers are using this as proof, quote unquote proof, that measles are like no big deal, saying like the measles couldn't kill the Brady Bunch. And there's even like t-shirts that are like the Brady Bunch survived the measles and like shit like that. But apparently like Maureen McCormick, who actually plays Marsha Brady, who's the one who delivers that line, is like, nah. Because, first of all, she's like, as a mother, I vaccinated my own kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I had the measles as a kid, and that was no joke. I'm paraphrasing here.
Right.
I was hoping not.
Because she spoke to NPR, so she's not going to speak that freely.
That's how I would.
Right, exactly.
Right, but that's you.
I'm not suggesting or hoping that anyone would ever go to such extreme, but maybe perhaps sending every person... Never mind. You know what? I shouldn't speak that.
Smallpox blanket?
Someone with
I was thinking measles blankets to the entire cast of the Brady Bunch just to go ahead and test to see if that meme is true.
I mean, they already had it in the show. Season 1, episode 13. They already did. They're already immune. So here's the thing. So McCormick had the measles as a kid and said, quote, it was no fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sherwood Schwartz, who is actually the
like
son
your
of the
version
creator
better.
of the show, is also pissed. Because he was like, look, like my dad believed in vaccinations. All of us kids were vaccinated. And if he found out that this is how his show was being utilized, he wouldn't be happy. Despite all of these warnings from the creators of the show and from the actors in the show, the anti-vaxxers are still posting it.
It doesn't surprise me. I think it's worth noting that I would suspect that at least a good percentage of those anti-vaxxers using this meme are using it in a lackadaisical manner, in the sense of like they don't actually believe that this is some sort of proof, but it's some sort of like rah, yeah, we're awesome. See, you couldn't even kill the Brady Bunch. They don't really mean it as some sort of actual...
Well, no, they do. So here's the thing.
Really?
Is
they're actually saying
yeah,
it as a
so the
proof.
whole thing is that the reason why they're utilizing this specific meme is because their idea is that this is proof that back when measles were common, it still wasn't that big of a deal.
So they're using this piece of pop culture from that period of time as an indication of like once upon a time before the evil vaccine companies and everybody got their hands
and
in
started fear-mongering the measles.
You could just deal with it.
Have we confirmed that that anti-vaxxers don't already view the Brady Bunch as a form of like deity? tribe.
They
Or
may,
at least
in
a
fact,
documentary.
I mean, all hail the Brady Bunch at this point.
Yeah.
They're unstoppable.
You know,
Can't kill them.
Alice would be the like servant of the gods.
Alice is the Heimdall.
Yeah.
I think what we need to take away from this is the Brady Bunch cannot be killed.
This is a topic we should move away from before I get too tempted to go too far. Yeah, no, get your kids vaccinated, motherfuckers. Just make sure you do the research on the vaccine and your kids. And if you choose not to vaccinate, tell your doctor. Make sure your doctor is still involved with that. Just because your doctor says, no, I want to vaccinate, doesn't mean that they don't care about your kid at the end of the day, and you do have your choice. So if you make your choice, whether it's right, wrong, stupid, smart, weird, or queefy, just make sure you keep your doctor involved. Period.
Am I pounding this too hard?
I don't know. Spread your legs wider. What's next?
So my last one is a little poignant based on our subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just take a second to acknowledge how eloquent I'm being with how schmammered I am right now?
Yeah, you're pretty impressive.
Great.
Everyone, run applause.
Clap, clap, clap. I ain't done with you, baby. Bring that ass back.
I am 3 drinks in, motherfucker. Okay.
Oh, yo! Hang on. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you. I appreciate that deep in my soul.
From the family.
So, what?
Yep. Raising roof commencing. Roof raised.
All right, motherfuckers.
Word.
So, Avengers Endgame.
Is this a spoiler?
No, this is spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
Ladies and gentlemen and friends and family and
Z, Y, X, Y, and Z.
non-binary
You'd expect that to
individuals.
last.
Friends,
Don't be
this
rapey.
is spoiler free. So Avengers Endgame actually broke huge records already. It hasn't.
Woo!
It's barely been a weekend. So they have estimated $1 billion in revenue and counting around the world. This is actually the first film to make $300 million opening weekend.
Like a boss.
And actually, they made more on their preview night, Thursday night, than all but 11 2019 films that have been released that have made the money they've made in their entire run.
Dear rest of the world, suck this dick.
Basically.
And worth noting just how much of that money goes to the studio, because the way these box office returns work is that the longer a movie is in theaters, the more those exhibitors, the actual theaters themselves, will take from the box office haul. But the vast majority of that initial opening weekend show goes to the original studio, not the exhibitors. So the studio, Disney, is making serious bank.
They also own the food and air we breathe, and you know all the
Disney owns all.
Most of the intellectual property, yeah.
They own half the hotels we sleep upon. They own the toilets we shit into. Sherry,
Stop. Hammer time.
irony.
Ooh.
Woo woo. Okay. So there's one more thing I wanted to mention.
Chris Evans' penis.
I mean, always Chris Evans. And Chris Pratt. And Chris Hemsworth. All the Chris's. All their penises.
Chris Dong.
Chris Dong.
All the Chris
Chris
Dong.
Dong is excellent dong. So the last thing I wanted to mention about the moolah is, as Alex was talking about studio stuff, all of the 22 films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have surpassed $20 billion total internationally. That's a shit ton of money.
That is a lot of money.
So you mean people at Disney actually went to take a look at their income for a second?
Yep.
They actually noticed?
And there's your news.
Well, damn, son.
Yeah.
All 22. I'm in the middle of my post-Endgame rewatch of the MCU at this point.
I'm going back to see Endgame this week. The news is done, people. We have left the safety nest. We are entering the spoiler zone.
The spoiler
We are
zone.
entering the area of this podcast that we're going to spoil the ever-living fuck out of everything you don't want to hear about. So if you don't want anything spoiled from here on out for Avengers Endgame, for Game of Thrones, for Howard the Duck.
Spoiler
for
alert,
fucking
alert,
Rescue
alert.
Rangers.
We've
Whatever
already warned you, but we're warning you again.
This isn't a warning. This is a threat. We're spoilering this shit.
Turn back now if you're not ready.
And if you are ready, I've got extra lube for you. Thank you so much. We take good care of you. And at the end, we're going to have a wonderful cuddle session. And it's going to be wonderful. There's going to be one person in bunny suit for those of you that are a little weird. Ooh. That being said, we were just talking about Marvel. And I want to talk about Game of Thrones instead. Haley, let's talk about Game of Thrones.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Okay. Holy shit, you guys.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I was so incredibly stressed, especially like, okay, so the first part where the Dothraki, like, I love how
Hang on.
give us...
Let's build up for a split second.
Oh, shit.
For those who haven't been caught up for the episode and are listening carelessly,
Oh, like me.
the big eyes. Please fondle yourself more right now. You're holding your heart closed.
You told me to stop.
Sorry, I'm distracted when I find lady holds her boobies. Anyways, so the ice bad people are raising the dead people, and they're marching to Winterfell. And all the heroes, the people that we care about.
So this is the last battle.
This is
the
it.
long night.
Uh-huh.
Bran is gonna be chilling in the Godswood as live bait for the fucking Night King, because if the Night King goes down, they all go down. And so
Pay-per-view.
That sounds like the Thriller dance scene is on its way over.
No, it sounds like she's selling a goddamn boxing fight. I'm loving this. Come on, keep it going.
So here's the thing, is they cannot be showing up in like direct hand-to-hand combat. And they fucking knew that. Going in, you cannot face these motherfuckers in hand-to-hand combat because number one,
your sword goes boom.
They're undead. So like they're just gonna fucking, they don't give a shit. They're like rolling over each other.
They're
fucking,
out of
like,
shits.
it's like a wave.
They
They're gonna fucking take down whomever. Secondly, even if you take them fucking down, the Night King's just gonna raise them back the fuck up again.
Because they're dead.
And whomever gets taken out goes onto their team.
Mm-hmm. So if you lose half of your army, and he loses half of his army, you lost half your army.
And
but
he just gained half of his army.
Yep, there we go.
And those that you haven't completely decimated completely, they're going to raise back again, because you can't make them deader. You just stop them, and then if they're still movable, yeah, they're after you.
I
Chucky
was explaining
style.
to my mom last night, like, this isn't just like a regular, like, this isn't Battle of the Bastards. This isn't the Blackwater Bay, like, whoever, when you realize that you're starting to lose, like, oh shit, we gotta turn back and we're done. Mm-hmm. No, this is a battle to the fucking death of whomever.
Yep. This is the crossroad that decides what the final chessboard is going to look like.
Absolutely.
This is it. Like, now we're able to see what is going to be standing for what now.
So this was mildly important.
This
was mildly, motherfucker?
Itsy bitsy.
Mildly, motherfucker? No. This
minor.
This is the quintessential
subplot
moment. What we've been building for since season 1, episode 1, in the first 10 fucking minutes.
So like everybody on the wall just wasn't checking their phones for a while.
Some may actually call this filler. Oh, Haley's going to throw something.
I can't. Don't. Okay. So then, this is what I appreciate, is like everyone goes in knowing like, shit, we're fucked, right?
Right.
And then Melisandre, the fucking red woman, fucking fire priestess.
Hottest old lady I've ever seen titties on.
Right? She comes rolling on up and she's like talking to the Dothraki and she's like, give me your fucking swords. And she lights them all on fire. And
by giving one single sort of
moment.
hand job.
Ooh.
I love that moment because...
Fiery hand job?
Yes.
Not only do the characters feel that, but for a split second I was like, oh, maybe we have a shot off this after all. Like maybe we have a shot.
I remember that scene. My exact words were Dothraki with flaming weapons. Yes, please.
Because we've all seen how devastating a Dothraki horde can be just on their own accord, just of their own.
Now they have holy fire weapons.
Fucking business. And then I love how visually stunning it was because it's so dark and all you see is the flames and they go running into the thing and then little by little you watch them fucking extinguish.
What I loved was how they almost immediately stopped. They hit a wall, like a black wall, and the fire just stops moving and they spread a little bit and then exactly as you described, just little by little.
And we're like, I'm sitting there with my mom and my friend, and we're like, oh shit, oh shit. Like, and then all of a sudden, people start running back in scatters, like trying to fucking make it.
But hang on, no. But my boy was out with him.
Ghost?
No, what's his name?
Jorah.
Yeah, well, Ghost was out there.
Jorah.
Wait, where's Ghost? Wait, where's Ghost?
I don't know.
Bitch, I missed that. Don't know where Ghost is. Ghost is MIA. Okay, but okay, who else was out there though?
I just realized I never guessed who your other favorite character was from last week.
Okay, but who was out there?
Jorah.
And he was kicking ass, taking names, right?
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Jorah's a motherfucker. Like he's a badass motherfucker.
Armed with a badass sword.
So then,
my favorite sword in the French.
Jorah the
this is
Explorer.
what I appreciate so much about the episode. Is they give false hope and they give false despair
Like
so
horse.
well. Like halfway through, like how they handle each thing, like with the lighting of the trench, like Grey Worm knows what's up.
Yep.
And like I was thinking like, baby, don't do something stupid. You have Missandei, like
Baby,
you can't
don't hurt me.
like don't be a fucking stereotype and have the black man die in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now, if he did die out there, he was in a perfect position to kick all the ass.
and he was kicking
watching
all
the difference
ass.
between all the different combat going on and watching the Unsullied step by step back by Unsullied. Thank you. Step by step back by holding that line and buying as much time as possible.
They're like Alexander. They fight the way that Alexander the Great did.
It was amazing.
And like I was crying when they were like, protect the retreat, because like fucking they're the ones holding the line.
Uh-oh.
They're the ones protecting the retreat, you know? And like, I just so appreciate how they're just doing their fucking duty, you know? And like, no one is harder and
to please
more
that queen booty
and better than they are. And like, I so appreciate that, like, at the point where all the fog rolls in and they're like, you know, Dany can't see us, she needs to light the trench, and fucking Grey Worm's like, this bitch can do it, like with Melisandre.
Right.
And I just, because I was thinking like, this motherfucker, like, don't do something stupid, and they make an entire human shield around her so that she can do it. I love that so much.
I love how you pointed at me about motherfucker doing something stupid, because you know that I'm sitting here thinking of something stupid to say.
pretty much.
Oh my god. So then,
well, what I'm entertained by the most right here is how I'm following along everything you say, and you are so passionate about this. And I'm watching him lost in Alex is lost in the fog, and all I can see him doing is thinking how to interject and fuck this up.
Don't you fuck this up for me, Alex.
I was juggling the notion of saying, you know, oh, so Sean Bean is leading the army, or referencing How to Train Your Dragon.
Speaking of Sean Bean fucking leading the army.
Oh,
here's the shit. Here's the real shit.
Uh-oh, the real shit.
So the whole time,
everything up to this point has been fake shit.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm kidding. So the whole time they're talking about this battle, they're like, oh, like, we're going to put the women and the children in the crypts. And I'm like, have we not remembered, like, what this main motherfucker's specialty is? Raising the dead? I'm like, why are you going to put people...
Oh, I thought it was mashed potatoes. I thought it had a really great garlic mashed potato recipe.
I wish the Night King's specialty was garlic mashed potatoes.
Well, we went to the
husband
night.
material.
We went to the Night King's Fish House the other day.
Yeah, pretty.
We went to the Night King's Fish House.
Yeah,
for
we keep going back. It's great. I'm sorry when you can raise the dead that much. You know, obviously, apparently, you don't care if the seafood
the Night
goes
King's
bad.
Fish House. It's unbeatable. That South African lobster really made my day.
Right? And honestly, because of you and me, I had to go back and get that dessert again. So he and I
The
split it.
dessert again?
We
Yes.
totally went back.
Drowned by butter or whatever.
The butter cake.
The butter cake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
But I
did you
couldn't-
have Did you have the clam chowder?
No, I didn't.
Did
No.
you do what our waiter suggested? What was his name? Mark?
Mark was, oh God.
Oh my God, Mark was amazing. Shout
Mark.
out to Mark at
Yay.
King's Fish House.
All praise
Go
Mark
for Mark.
at Night King Fish House. Fantastic.
No, we split an artichoke, and I had the salmon, and you had the blackened. What was the type of fish sandwich?
Blackened ahi sandwich. I was
Ahi.
going for healthy. I'm sorry.
I
Judge me.
have such a hard on for that fucking food.
It's good food.
You should have done what he said, where you mix the clam chowder and the sea stew, the seafood stew. And it's like-
I didn't think about it. I'm sorry. I got so stuck.
That's why you consult me on these.
I was
things.
sucking down the artichoke, and then afterwards I had the sandwich, and then we had the dessert, and then we had the delicious
That's
alcoholic beverage, and I just
That was a good drink.
so intoxicated about the Night King's glorious.
It was basically
sexy
an
food.
old fashioned, but better.
Speaking of sexy food, Aria.
Oh shit, Arya. Okay, so first of all, Arya is just a delight to watch in battle because she just owns her shit. And then when she knocked her head, and you know what I appreciate so much about this episode is how much they parallel the first season. Like when she's running away and like in the crypts in the halls of Winterfell, when she's like running away from people and she's like hiding in the library. It reminds me so much of how she did what she had to survive when her father was first killed. And she was like,
She knows that place.
yeah, she knows that place like the back of her hand, and she knows how to get shit done. And like watching her, because when she hit her head, she wasn't at 100%, you know, and she's like having to get back to basics. And like it was so amazing to watch her like pull from her water dancing techniques of like being as quiet as a shadow or whatever they say, and like how good that was. And like, and then her understanding, like when she runs into Melisandre and they have that exchange, like I didn't know what was going on, but
you know what?
she knew exactly what was going to happen.
This whole scene you're describing, while she was like dancing around the undead, I kept screaming like passionately and emotionally, "Bitch, she hunts cats! You're fucked! Leave her alone! Don't kill her!" I was so, yeah. No, that was way too many emotions for little me that early in the morning, because I didn't get to go and join you. You host your Game of Thrones shawarma-thon. And I didn't get to go join last night. I was out hunting a drunk.
Oh, my whole family.
You do shawarma for Game of Thrones?
No,
human
it's more
shawarma.
of a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
So here's what happens is at my house, all of my friends who watch Game of Thrones are welcome to come to my mom's house, and we all bring a food to share. It was a potluck. And we didn't even eat anything because we were all so like, and also it was kind
So
of
the potluck was a failure in that respect. I'm kidding.
If you want to play it that way, Alex, damn, okay. But you know what? Here's the thing: is it was like a skeleton crew because my ride or die best friend, she was out of town, and then my other best friend from grad school, she was there, and like so usually it's me and my best friend and my grad school best friend, and then my best friend's brother and his friend. And then my brother, and then usually you fucking Christian, but
Hola,
who's
sí,
fucking
es tú.
showing up elsewhere.
You know me, I'm a man of mystery and constantly claimed by adventure.
I feel like my mom is like, does he even exist? Like, because every time you're like, oh yeah,
Surprise
I'm gonna
answer. No.
make it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a figment of my imagination running this podcast.
Yes.
Christian Barrick is, in fact, a very sophisticated AI who has gathered us to this place, but will not actually let us leave.
I'm simply the thing that you
Like
see
Hotel
when you're
California?
between drunk.
I was referring more to the the I have no mouth, but I must scream sort of thing. But
I'm simply a figment of what you see whenever you're just drunk enough to want to listen to yourself be a dumbass.
And that's me, 24/7 on this podcast.
This episode had everything. This episode had everything that every season had, and just threw it at us anyways because we didn't need to see anything new. Yet they still did. The Dothraki flamesword scene was beautiful, but the dragon on dragon combat in the sky.
I was crying because I'm like, these poor babies. They're being attacked by their brother.
Yeah.
They don't know what's happening.
Let's go through the damage they go through. They're flying through the sky initially, and then they get ambushed by a snowstorm, and then they wind up like crashing through trees because they don't know how high they are.
No,
So
baby.
bam, 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 tree shrapnel, bam, damage 1. Number 2 was they got attacked by the undead baby.
By their own brother.
Who was essentially, damn, the lungs on that dragon.
Notice how he was shooting at Jon and not actually at his own brother.
Yep. The
I
goal
was
seemed
like,
to be the
oh
people
shit,
to
this
red.
Night King knows what's happening. He knows what's up. He knows what's fucking going down. And like...
Because, hang on, let's stop. Just like give represent to John. Moved on up and red and a dragon now, little baby boy.
I know.
Dude knows something now.
That was the sexiest development.
well, since Kit Harington is actually in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise along with Game of Thrones, it's about time.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Who
yeah,
is he?
he's that asshole dude, right?
he was the character that was introduced in the second film as like kind of working for the jerky Jimon Hotsu character.
Oh, the kind of Samoan looking dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I never figured that one.
And now he just kind of lives on the island because
he likes dragon poon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. Here's the extra spoiler for even Alex. Like, he is a Targaryen.
Oh, God.
That I'd heard.
Whatever that means.
So he's going to be riding them dragons.
Ooh,
And,
giggity.
like, this is what I
Which is a
appreciate.
step up
'cause,
from
like,
his How to Train Your
towards
Dragon
the-
character.
Like, towards the end of the episode, when he's, like, hand-to-hand trying to fight Viserion all by himself, I love how he stands in front of him going, like... I love how, like, you can just see it on his face where he's like, I'm a Targaryen. I can fucking do this.
Then that leads us on to damage point number 3 for the poor dragon. John's dragon crash landed because the...
Do we even know if he's okay?
We didn't get to see. But Daenerys' dragon, it was down too low for too long, and a few of them latched on, and then it was just like watching fire ants crawl all over this thing. And it had to fly off, and it ditched its freaking mom. So and they're stabbing all over this thing's body, like all the way tail to neck.
But he's got dragon scales. Like,
Right.
I wasn't super worried. I was
And
just
he comes back.
Because my mom was like, why doesn't he shake them all off of him? And I was like, because he'll throw his own mom. So then when she slipped off of him, I was like, okay.
He took off.
And I'm like yelling. I'm like, do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. Press Z or R twice.
Okay, so wait, does that mean John's Slippy?
Hell yeah. John is Slippy. Are
What a
you
little
kidding
shit.
me?
That's why he knows nothing.
He's sure as shit not Falco.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so who is Falco?
Oh god, that's
Jorah.
tough. Jorah, okay, fine.
Jorah's Falco.
But Jorah, though, after bitch falls off her goddamn kid in the middle of a field of freaking undead monsters,
And she has no weapon.
who jumps out and says, I'm going to kick some goddamn
The
teeth
fucking
in?
head of her Queen's Guard.
Word.
The fucking... she's
Dumb
the
man.
love of his life.
My boy.
Jorah Mormont. And
Fuck
here's
yeah.
the thing about Jorah is, like, everyone keeps talking about how, like, sad they are about Jorah's death, and I'm not, and I'll tell you
Oh, by the way, spoiler, of course, he dies.
Is because if somebody fucking asked him offhand, like, hey, Jorah, how would you want to die, ideally? That's exactly what he would fucking say.
He would say specifically in front of her, beside her,
Defending
on her,
her?
or in her.
But like defending her, dying in her arms. That's exactly if he had a if he had a dream way to be shipped out of here. That's exactly what it would be.
Honestly, a lot of people would say he died fully erect because of things, but in reality, he died completely moist. He was done. He finished. That was the ultimate ending for him.
I feel like when she caught him in his arms and started crying, that's when he like orgasmed. Mm-hmm. That was so he was soft. He was satisfied.
I think he was rock hard during the entire fight. I think that was it. He's like, I'm dying. This is it. Oh, I've never had a dick this hard. That's why he kept going. Yeah. He was focused on the hard-on.
So you're saying it was a happy ending.
Exactly.
It was exactly a happy ending. But here's why. Here's why I am sad about Jorah's death is because of Lyanna. Lyanna's badass death. The little girl.
Yeah. Wait.
And the reason why it's sad is because House Mormont is no more.
That's right.
But this bitch, okay, so I love Lyanna Mormont. When I grow up, I want to be her.
She's a small child that kills giants.
And her favorite thing to do is to make men look weak.
Yes.
And that's exactly how she died, how she lived, making men look weak.
If she were to have survived... That reminds me of another pop cultural death that I watched this weekend.
If she were to have survived and moved along in maybe 20 years, I'd have been all up in that.
I want to adopt her. I want her to be my life coach.
I want someone to be that murder ready in my life.
So here's for all of you who haven't seen it but don't care. So an undead giant bursts into Winterfell, and she fucking faces him up David and Goliath style. He picks her up and is crushing her, and she's like, "No, motherfucker," and stabs him in the fucking eye.
The only eye left. With the magic dragon scale glass thing that magically kills.
So he absolutely crumbles, and she
saves everyone in that freaking area. Every single person holding that keep was saved from the giant that was gonna kill them all in a heartbeat.
She saved everyone.
Yep.
I mean, and we know from Battle of the Bastards, we know from when the wildlings attacked the wall, how difficult it is to kill a dragon or a giant.
For those who don't actually watch, but maybe watch Lord of the Rings, you imagine the troll in the beginning during the first Lord of the Rings movie. Mm-hmm. Imagine that thing got killed right when it came in, right at the get-go. The first person who encounters it dies, but kills it right the fuck off. Makes sense. That's how badass this was.
Very cool. That there's some definite parallels.
She's a 9-year-old girl.
She's 9.
She's a kid.
Definite parallels between the pop cultural events of the weekend.
So before we move on rapidly, let's go ahead and continue to wrap up how awesome.
Okay, we'll talk about the finale of how incredible it was to have that redemptive moment with Theon.
Right, that's exactly what I wanted to see.
And how incredible it was. This is what I loved about the show is the whole time we're not worrying about Arya, we're worrying about all these other people, and all of a sudden Bran and the Night King are fucking face to face. The Night King's about to deal his lasting blow, and Arya comes out of fucking nowhere.
It's beautiful that way they just choreographed this thing, because you get this little tuft of hair just blown by wind that even throws this supernatural creature off. Like, what the fuck was that?
Because it was like I saw a meme about this where it's like unspoken dialogue. Where Arya's like, there's something you don't know. And he's like, and what is that? And she's like, I'm not left-handed. Because here's the thing, is Arya comes in and jumps at him fucking kamikaze style with her left hand about to stab him. Mm-hmm. He catches her in the throat. She drops one hand into the other and drops the Valyrian cat's paw, which I think is so poignant that it's the knife that was supposed to kill Bran in the first place. Right in the heart, right exactly where the dragon glass turned him into the Night King in the first place. He is undone.
Yep.
Masterful.
And immediately every undead character, including the big giant dragon that was about to eat Jon's dumbass, who was like, what the fuck was he thinking? Charging?
I think he thinks he's a Targaryen, and he's like, I'm unburnt, right, you guys?
Right? I guess I'm the one to take on this dragon by myself, because I'm a fucking dumbass. You know, that man is not alive because he's a great swordsman. That has never been a major...
He's lucky as fuck is what he is. And it cracked me up when he like starts running for the dragon and then the dragon starts throwing fire at him and he jumps behind a rock. I'm like, that is quintessential John.
Yep. It was actually quintessential everyone in this episode. Even you have the two down in the actually all the thinkers down in the cellar. Yeah. They all know there are no more pieces to move here. Mm-hmm. There is only if we see tomorrow, we will be on the board.
Real quick, that beautiful moment between Sansa and Tyrion about how they're like going to do whatever they can to defend, even though they have no skills whatsoever, and how they just like love each other in a really pure and respectful way as former spouses. I love that so much.
Thank you for marrying me and not raping me. Everyone else tried to.
Exactly. And he was just like, damn, that's a really low bar. And she's like, I know, right?
Yep.
But yeah, Arya. Okay, so when that happened, when Arya did the thing. Okay, so first of all, I jump out of my chair and I start shrieking. And I mean screaming. And when
sounds like you.
He catches her, I go, no! And I'm freaking out. And I'm like grabbing my friend. And then she drops, it's like in slow-mo, she drops the knife and she shanks him. And I just let out this guttural scream. And I just start sobbing because it's over. Because I know that we fucking did it. And all of the people that I've been worried about are safe. And like all of the people that we lost wasn't for nothing. And it was just this culminating moment of the past 8 years, 10 years of watching this show.
So we lost Jorah.
I know, we lost
Jorah,
we lost
one of my
Theon.
two favorites. Two
Who's
of my
your
favorite
other
characters.
favorite?
I told you got to figure it out.
Damn it. Is it Theon?
You have... Okay.
Let me ask you this. Is your favorite still alive now?
Yes.
Okay, so they're still... And it's the dude.
It's a dude.
Is it Podrick?
No.
Podrick's
Was
one of
not...
my favorites.
Okay. Two of my characters. Two of my favorite characters. One was at Winterfell.
And the other one was not.
Yes.
Is it Bronn? It's Bronn!
Yep.
Ah, ha, ha.
I mean, you know what? That makes so much sense because I feel like if
Alias guessed it. Tell her what she's won.
I feel like if you were an actual person thrown into Westeros, you would essentially be Bronn.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. Hands down.
Why? Okay, why? I accept that it's a great compliment.
So you are that witty and like you just don't give a fuck the same way he doesn't give a fuck. And like I feel like you would just be like a chillin' sellsword, you know, kicking ass and taking names and fucking all the bitches along the way. You know what I mean? Like that's just quintessential Christian. I say quintessential a lot. It's a big favorite word of mine, especially when I'm drunk. Thank you.
Very good.
So Jorah dying, it means to me I still have hope for one of my two favorites from when they first got introduced.
I think Bronn's gonna make it to the end. Are you kidding me?
But
Bronn's too cool.
So, but we lost Jorah and we lost what's his name?
Theon.
We lost Theon.
I know.
Can I just say, for a man that lost his penis, he died with his spear in his hand.
He
and
had so many
to
balls, even though he possessed no balls.
Who else died? No, the little girl, Jorah, Theon.
Talk about another really important death. How Beric Dondarrion. It felt very biblical, like how he like held himself against that walkway as a human shield, and they were like shanking him, letting the Hound and Arya get away.
Over and over again. Mr.
Like,
One-Eye Flame Sword.
I love how he didn't give two fucks because he'd like died 19 times before then. So he keeps getting fatally shanked, and he's just like, "It's cool. I'm gonna keep fighting."
But he knew.
Is 19 an exact number? I'm just curious.
I think I'm paraphrasing. I feel like it's more like he's died. I want to say he's died 8 times. 9
I mean,
times?
I'm not even going to pretend to know.
In the book, up until this point, I believe he's died 5 times.
He's died several times.
But you said it might be 8, which makes him very Catwoman from Batman Returns.
Ew.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I mean, like, and we all kind of knew, like, okay, so here's the thing. Here's how extra I am. Like, in my family, we printed out pictures of all the people who were going to be at the Battle of Winterfell. Mm-hmm. And we have tea candles for every single character. And we lit candles for everyone who fell during the Battle of Winterfell. And we knew that Dolores Ed and Beric Dondarrion were going to be 2 of the ones who passed because we didn't get a lot of information. Like, not a ton of backstory. They're not super invested. And so we knew that those 2 were expendable.
Is there a Game of Thrones equivalent of a red shirt?
It's called being cast in the show.
Oh, well.
These 2 characters, we haven't gotten a lot of their backstory. They're just kind of supplemental characters. Dolores Ed was technically the last Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. And I mean, it's really poignant that he dies because especially now that the Night King is dead, there's no need for the Wall. And so the Night's Watch is essentially disbanded. And
the Night's Watch is now essentially a handful of no ones.
Mm-hmm. And their watch has ended.
Yep.
Now, do you put that on a resume?
Yep.
As a former member of the Night Watch?
Yeah, but you can't expect anyone to actually be able to confirm, so you need to genuinely be a good worker. It's not really useful. Okay. They can't. There's no way to contact
it's just how to explain that gap in employment.
Yep. Okay. Yep. It's probably going to be something that in about 5 years can be dismissed pretty easily because everyone starts using it.
Oh yeah, like there was this period of time where we weren't working. I went to the Wall. I was on the Night's Watch.
Night's Watch.
Totally.
Yeah, no.
Didn't have anything else in my life. Figured I'd go there.
Bran is a punk ass bitch. Spent the whole time napping.
No, wait, hang on. He stood there that entire fucking time
working as a raven. I'm why aren't you helping?
He acted like he knew what he was doing. He acted like he knew what was going to happen the whole time. But let's stop and go back to the previous episode where he set the entire episode waiting carriage by carriage for someone to show up just so he could be a goddamn drama queen. To what's his name that pushed him out the tower?
Can we just appreciate how he was like, we don't have time for introductions. The Night King is coming. But he has the time to sit out for 2 days to be a petty bitch.
Priorities.
But the fact that he needed to wait 2 days means he's clearly not that accurate with his predictions. How was he even remotely able to predict what happened at that tree properly? That was sheer fucking John level of luck.
Well, there's prophecies, and then there's properly understanding traffic.
I mean, like, here's the thing: is he sees all things that happen all at the same time. However, I don't think it shows up like in Law and Order SVU case where it's like ticka ticka ticka, like Winterfell 8 p.m. Like.
You're saying there's no subtitle that's showing the place and the time.
He sees it happening, but I don't know that he grasps. There's not a calendar on the wall when he's doing this where it says what day it is.
Credit to Dr. Manhattan then for figuring out how these things work.
Smurf penis.
Manhattan looks like he's probably part of the.
Who's Dr. Manhattan?
That's from Watchmen.
Okay.
Papa Smurf.
The big blue guy.
With the penis.
Okay.
Any thoughts or predictions what's going to happen next?
Okay, so here's my prediction for the end.
You got a short window, go fast.
I think it's Jon and Dany with a kid on the Iron Throne. The end.
Gross. Incest.
I dig it. He's hot, she's hot. Let's let it happen.
And Christian, your prediction?
I predict way too much incest for the rest of the season. Night King's
I ship
dead.
Sansa and Podrick. The end.
Ooh, wait, no, hang on. Did what's his name with the hammer? Did Bullhead die?
Bullhead?
The guy that fucked Arya.
Oh, Gendry? No, he's down.
Okay, he's down?
Yeah, he's down to clown. They're fucking.
Okay. I predict that
made it.
He and Arya are just going to use that throne as their personal sex tool from now on.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they're going to get it.
I mean, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't have a boner for the woman who saved the entire whole of the universe?
I think Dany's going to fuck up at the end.
Danny?
I think, yeah.
I think John and Danny balance each other out, and that's why I think the two of them need to be... Because he's too stupid and she's too hot-headed.
I think she's so hot-headed she's going to fuck up, and we're going to watch John get, like, last second, chomped by a dragon in a shocking moment, and she's going to either have
She's pregnant. She's pregnant with his kid, and I feel it.
I think that the two of them are not going to make it.
I think they are. I think they will bring balance to the Force.
I think that the two of them and Cersei are going to have a whirlwind of chaos, and it's going to lead to all three of their downfalls.
And I predict that it will be John Oliver on the throne by the very end.
John Oliver.
And total
actually...
HBO cross promotional synergy.
Apparently, there was a study that was done by by a university that did like predictions of who's most likely to end on the Iron Throne, and it's Tyrion.
I would vote Tyrion. Tyrion and Michelle Obama.
Now that's a power couple.
Yes. I'm trying to make it 20-year screenings. I think it's gonna be fun, and I promise I'll be civil. Either way, I think that
3 more episodes.
I think that this is finally wrapping up to be emotional in a chub. What's the song from Return of the Jedi?
Oh, Yub Nub.
Yub
Nub.
I think we're gonna have a Nub Nub song ready to play at the end of it.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, I guess that begs just one final question, at least from me. If there
Gross.
was a Game of Thrones special edition, what sort of unnecessary additions, George Lucas style, should they add?
Copious amounts of extra sex in the background for no reason at all. Just like randomly in the streets, just a random couple boning. Middle of the woods, pigs fucking for no reason. Out in the middle of the ocean, 2 dolphins jump up and just like land inside of each other. You know, every time they catch fish, there's like one pairing that's just in the middle of copious.
I am instantly, fascinated by the idea of just the 2 random pigs. I just want those 2 specific pigs to show up multiple times.
He wants to watch 2 pigs.
With the amount of incest that goes on in the show, I feel like a special edition would literally be, if you are related, you're attracted to each other.
I think that the special edition would actually show more offspring.
Sorry. I'm so drunk. I'm starting to...
It's okay. The screen actually perfectly blocked you everything.
I just like...
Haley's so in Game of Thrones mode, she just kicks her leg up, dress and all. She's like, fuck it. But the monitor I'm using to record this is just like blocking everything. It's like, oh, of course you picked that.
my virtue.
Yeah. Fucking goddamn monitor ruining everything as always.
I don't know where that came from. Yeah, this was fantastic. I could speak more about this for ages, but we're running out of time. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Alex, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Any shout outs, anything you got going on?
I mean, I'm going to say just a general shout out to the voice actors in New York City who recently had me out there to teach a class. They're awesome. Nothing that I mean, I've recorded a couple of things already this year, but nothing that I can announce under general NDA. Once they actually come out, then I can actually start talking.
General NDA.
I have a shout out to San Antonio Winery, who's been keeping me drunk on this podcast for the past 3 episodes. So
far, so good.
Thank you for their Cardinal American Sweet Red.
And I've got a shout out to my toilet that really lets me pee whenever I have to. Like right now, as soon as we're done here, I advise all of you to go out and buy yourself one.
The final notion of this particular recording today: bless your toilet.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a symbol. Well, thank you, everyone. Haley, thank you, Alex, for joining us as well. It's happy to have you here to be an expert on Game of Thrones that you've never watched before in your life.
Aha! True expertise.
Mm-hmm. And thank you, audience, for listening. As always, if you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, share, talk to people, tell people, oh my God, they said this weird racist thing.
Thank you, friends.
I'm Christian. That's Haley. That's Alex. You're you. And may the awesomeness be with you.
Winter is coming.